Hi Artsy Fram, how are you? So I just wanted to film a quick video before 2020. It's fast approaching while we're having a little bit of bubbly. And this is 11 Piper's Piping. That's one of the glasses that I have. So I'm just gonna chit chat because I am tired of one makeup technique that really needs to stop. Like, I have had enough. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm done with it. Like, I'm throwing it out for good in 2020. I'm not guilty of it, but I'm telling you, like, I have customers that come in and just do this on the daily. I have friends who are guilty of this. The reason that propelled me to make this video is because I was watching The Real Housewives of Orange County. I was watching the reunion, and I could not believe that this is actually on these beautiful women, and it just makes them look so much older, and I'm just so done with it. And that technique, my friends, is powder under the eyes. It has to stop. I am just so done with it. It just makes me so angry, and it makes me so annoyed because so many issues come from it. And I'm talking about like the powder, like right under your eye, or like right here, from here down and everywhere else, like the baking and everything like that. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about packing the powder right under your eye. I am so over it. I'm so over it. Like, I really am over it. And so many issues and so many things to say about it. And now you have to think about it that everything went from HD and now we have 4K. So you really see, especially on TV, obviously, and if someone's filming with that type of equipment on YouTube, like, you're gonna be able to see that. I don't do that technique. And the reason I'm gonna tell you to stop doing that is, one of the main reasons, I'm gonna just take a sip. Gather my thoughts. Calm my nerves. God. Okay. So here is where the problems lie, and a whole bunch of them combined together. This is why this is problematic, and it's horrible, and it needs to just go away, and I just don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want anybody asking me for it any longer. This is not baking. This is not considered baking. Baking is used for theater, musical theater, for film, but especially theater, drag, okay? Like, you're packing on the powder, but you're packing on the powder on your cheek area here and on your forehead to really set that makeup so it doesn't move for your performance, especially under those lights. For some reason, I find that along the way, the same techniques have been used for decades, but they just keep changing the terms. In my realm, baking is actually setting powder. Like, you're setting your foundation, you're setting your makeup with that, okay? That's what that is. And so many people, like regular people that go to work every single day, they just do baking, or they think that they have to do baking when really it's not baking, but it's actually setting powder, setting your foundation, setting it to whether you have combination, whether you have oily, whether you have dry, you know, like, you're setting it to the according powder to set your makeup so it won't move. But for some strange reason, they just seem to think to put the powder under the eye. And this is because of YouTube that's telling them to do it. It's because their friends are telling them to do it. It's because, I don't know, brands are telling them to do it. I am the type of person where I'm telling you it's wrong. Stop doing it. Stop doing it today. So you can go in 2020 looking flawless, because believe it or not, it makes you look older. And I'll tell you why. A lot of the problems with the eye, a lot of people have dry eyes. Most of us do, okay? And it's just one of those things. And you need to hydrate. And a lot of people come to me and they do not want to, they don't even know, or they don't even want to use a moisturizer for their eye. Most of the concealers out there are mattifying. So picture it like you have already a dry eye. You're putting on a concealer that could have a component of a mattifying component in there, and you're packing on the powder, and you're complaining to me that it's creasing. Yeah, of course it's gonna crease, because even when you're yawning, laughing, talking, whatever you're doing, there's so many muscles in our face that when you're still, you have so many creases because of your movements of your face that day, and then you're creasing like crazy. And then there's some people that come to me and tell me, well, I don't put powder, but I still crease. It's like, yeah, because you don't moisturize your eye. You have to moisturize, and that's that, okay? If you don't want to moisturize, then get a oil primer for your face and just put it under your eye. There's a great one that NYX has, and I love it. I love to put it on my clients when I'm doing a makeover. I love to put it on my friends. I love to put it on my inquiring customers. I like to put, if they have dry eyes, which most of them do, and most of the concealers that we do have at NYX, and most of the concealers on the market are mattifying. They have a mattifying component, unfortunately. And so I just put a little bit of the drops like on their eye first, and then I just put a little concealer, and then I blend it together. And that goes also, you want to always put the primer first with like an oil primer is perfect. You only need like a drop per eye under your eye, because more than that, it's going to get too oily. And especially if you're using a corrector for like discoloration of the face, a concealer on top of that, it's going to get really messy. Like it just won't stay well. It's too much of a slippery surface, right? So you just don't want to put too much on. So another thing that I do recommend is my favorite concealer on the market that does a little bit of both, but you do still need a moisturizer, is this guy by Benefit Cosmetics, and it's called the Boing Hydrating Concealer. It is incredible. I've been using it for years. I kind of like ventured away from it because I was trying other products, but I came back to this guy because he just keeps giving me what I need, and he gives me the hydration that I'm looking for. And again, if I don't put an oil primer underneath my eye because I do moisturize, and I do keep my eye cream in the fridge, and I think it's important to put in the fridge because if you have any like puffiness or anything going on, like in the moisturizer itself of most of the eye creams do have a depuffing component, so it feels really nice when you put it on. So I just love this concealer because, as you can see, the outside ring is the moisturizer and the inside is the concealer. And they have it in, I think, like 6 different colors. I have it in the fairest because, again, you want one shade lighter than your skin tone to just brighten up your eye, because if you have any discoloration, dark circles or anything like that, if you get the same color of your skin tone, it's gonna actually look darker. I meant to do this video a long time ago, and I kept postponing it and kept forgetting about it until I was catching up on the Real Housewives of Orange County on their reunion. And every single woman on that show, every single cast member, if you look at their eyes, they are wrinkled up and like packed with powder, and creasing is insane. They look probably 20 years older than they are. And they're mature women, but they're not that old, man. But that technique will age you instantly. And I'm talking like years. Like they look like 20 years older because of that. And so many makeup artists are doing that mistake on the field and on the market because that's what they think they're supposed to do. And they don't know that you're supposed to actually like assess the skin. Like, I just don't understand that. Like, you are on a show that's paying you so much good money. Like, you should be like so happy to be there. Like, have a little bit of moisturizer or eye cream or something in your kit. Like, just assess the skin. I always assess the skin. I'm one of those, like, you hear me talk about it in almost every video. Like, skincare to me is important. And when people come to me at work and clients and whatever in my store or outside of my store, I always treat their skin first. That's what you're supposed to do. This technique needs to leave. And you'd be surprised how many people argue with me in the store saying that, you know, this is what they've been doing for a while, and they need to set their concealer because God forbid it's gonna freaking move or something. And it's like, no, it wouldn't move if you do the steps. You have to hydrate your eye, you have to moisturize. You have to use a concealer that's hydrating. And if you don't do a moisturizer, then put at least like a drop of an oil primer on there and put your concealer on. And that's it. You don't have to set it with powder. It's so not necessary. And so because of like the baking, they think that that's part of it. And it's like, no, you don't need to do it. To be honest, I've never set my eyes. I never set my eyes with powder. Look at them. Look at them. I don't. And you know what's good about that too? When you put a shadow underneath like I do, it works like a primer because the stickiness and the dry, the two textures coming together, it just locks them in, and it just makes the eyeshadow more apparent, like an eye primer would. It's so good. Like, I mean, I have never had any complaints. My eyes never crease. I never have to think about like maybe touching up my concealer. I might if it's like faded a little bit and I just want to brighten it up a little bit, and I bring this guy with me, and all I do is I just add a little bit on, and that's it. That's it. I want this technique to so be gone for 2020. Another thing I want gone is the highlighting illuminating term. Like, it drives me nuts. Again, this has been a technique that's been going on for years, but somewhere along the line it got mixed up. It just got crossed. Like, I need another drink for that. It's making me angry. Highlighting is not illuminating. You see this shiny stuff on the face? That's illuminating. This stuff here, I'll put a picture right here, that is highlighting, part of the darkness, contouring, okay? This is what highlighting contour is. This is what illuminating is, which is the shiny stuff that you ask for, which is highlighting, as you say, but it's actually illuminating. And I will demonstrate for you. Okay, here's an example. I'm gonna give you a few of them so you understand the difference, okay? So this is NYX Born to Glow, and this is the illuminating powder in Eternal Glow. And do you see what it says right there? Illuminating powder, right there, okay? That is an illuminator. See? Okay, you see? That in your term, or what people are using, they're saying highlighting. No, this is illuminating, not highlighting, okay? I'll demonstrate again. This is the duochromatic illuminating powder in the Lavender Steel by NYX. Do you see how it says illuminating powder right there? Yes, it's illuminator, not highlight. Highlight is what this is, where people use usually the banana powder, or they use like, you know, the concealer sticks and whatnot to just make this area lighter to bring it forward, okay? Or even on top of your lid. And again, I'm gonna put a picture right here what highlighting and contouring is. Not illuminating. It's not what highlighting you think is. It's actually like highlighting and contouring. That's what this is. This shiny stuff that you like, that I love, that every girl loves and every drag queen loves and everybody on the planet goes crazy for, that's called an illuminating powder. It's not highlighting. You probably remember this as well, the Away We Glow by NYX. See how it says illuminating powder right there? Yes, not highlighting, illuminating. Shiny stuff. I'll keep saying it over and over again until like embedded in your brain, because it's important. That's what it is. Somewhere along the way, like it just got like, the term just got like confused, and then everyone started calling it highlighting, and I'm like, no, that's not what highlighting is at all. Okay? This is Trophy Wife. They got it wrong here, and they put highlighting, right? But if you look at the French, it's called illumineur, okay? Which means illuminating. Okay? The English term, they got it wrong, but the French version is right. This is Benefit Illuminator called Tickle, okay? And they also made a mistake, and that's how you know it's a mistake, and it's because of the English and the French. That's how you know that it actually is indeed an illuminator. So for example, see here where it says golden pink. Here, can you see it? Golden pink, and it says highlighting powder, right? But then in French, it says poudre, which is powder, illuminatrice, okay? That is illuminating powder. The English term is wrong, but the French term is correct, okay? Like, seriously, like this, it's so wrong all across the board. And some companies get it right, some companies get it wrong. But you'll know what I mean if you look at the French version, if it does say highlighter. Those are two makeup trends that I really want to stop. I've just really had enough, because it's wrong, okay? The powder under your eyes, absolutely wrong. Don't do it. It just ages you. It's awful. You'll crease. And if you're getting into the habit of it now, imagine when you're like 80 and 90 and still doing these techniques, and you know, like there's people that don't want to do fillers or Botox. Not that I'm saying that you have to, but even if you do or you don't, like your skin, if you don't moisturize, like your skin is going to suffer and it's going to show even worse down that road. And also, please, please, please make sure that when you're asking for a highlighter, it's actually the highlighter to highlight the cheeks and the forehead. It's not an illuminator. You're looking for an illuminator, not a highlighter. And that is a question I get all the time. It's not. It's an illuminator. You're not looking for a highlighter. If you're looking for highlighter, it's the term that goes with the contour. And also another term that I want to stop now that it's actually coming to mind. A lot of people come to me asking me for bronzer. And bronzer, again, it's a whole other technique. And bronzer was actually the term that first came out for contouring. You know, and so when people come to me and ask for a bronzer, it could mean a couple of things. It could mean they want to darken themselves up, like on the face, and just make themselves look darker, or they want to do the contouring, right? And most of the time it's actually the contouring. So unfortunately, like now is the time where contouring is more understood and popular than bronzer, but like also bronzer means two different types of things. Like it could mean like either you want to darken yourself up completely, or you want to like accentuate the features of your skin with contouring. So that's also something that I would like to stop and just be a little bit more certain of what you're looking for. And sometimes I ask that question and people just get confused because they're really looking for contouring, but they need bronzer and there's this whole thing going on. And so if you're asking for contouring, it's just a lot easier for us to understand what you're looking for, because bronzer, again, like it could mean two different things. It could mean, again, you're going to darken up your face, or you're looking for contouring, which is the definition. Okay, so please, I hope to God that I got through and that you understand the difference. Me and my 11 Pipers piping here, having a sip. I hope everyone had an amazing Christmas. My Barbies did. As you can see, they're all lit up and I got the Christmas cards and everything. I definitely had a fantastic Christmas, and 2020 is going to be lit all year round, from January till the end of December 31st of 2020. It's going to be incredible for everybody. It's going to be a really big year. You're going to see things more clearly, hence the 2020. So many things are aligned and so many like energies are going to be like uplifted and more visible and felt. So yeah, let's just stop these trends. Let's stop these terms and use the correct ones. And when you're asking for like a term, make sure you're asking for the right one. So like when we're trying to help you, like we can help you exactly knowing what you're looking for. I'm just really here to educate you, and that's that. And Happy New Year. If I don't get a video out before 2020, I highly doubt it. I'm trying to get this one out as soon as possible before 2020 so I can set the record straight. And so thank you so much for tuning in. Follow me on Instagram. The description is in the box below. And don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and support your girl. And thank you so much. And cheers. Happy New Year. Woo! Bye. Love ya. Mwah, 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 mwah.